You will never guess what I was playing earlier today, the entire day. Yeah, it's Grimsoul. Hi, how are you doing? I'm doing as good as ever. My hair looks hideous because I didn't know what to do with it, so I just did these weird hair things. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't care. In this video, I'm gonna be working on my jeans that I might have showed before. I don't know, but I will do a. It's kind of a spoiler, but the way that fell, that was so funny. I have these jeans, also, of course. The Sisters of Mercy patch. I have a bag that has this exact same picture on it as well. Both were hand drawn by me. So let me just go ahead and show you these jeans that I've been working on. Trigger warning, they're hideous. Yeah, so I don't know what you expected, but if you expected something better than this, I'm sorry. You might think, possibly, I don't know if you might, but you might think, what's wrong with the jeans? They seem fine to me. The thing is, they don't have enough patches. And I decided that I need to add more because otherwise I'm gonna look like a poser and we can't have that. So we'll be adding more patches onto it, painting on them, ripping them to shreds, sewing a bunch of things on them. And while I do that, I will be talking about different things, probably just what comes to mind because I never have a script for my videos. But let's get back to Grimsoul. This is a game that I was heavily propagandizing. I was creating propaganda for this game. It's not propaganda, it's just an ad. Not that I was paid for it. When do I ever get paid for anything I do? This game, so good. It reminds me of another game called Vampire Origins. Such a wonderful, cool game. They're very similar. They only have a few differences. I talked about it more in my previous video that I made a few days ago. But they're both really good games. It's like this mid or late 2000s. I'm not sure when these games were made, but they have this RPG style that I really enjoy. And I've been addicted to Grimsoul recently. I am going through my old stuff. I was gonna make a video about it, but it was turning out way too long, much longer than I thought it would. I talk a lot. My videos are much longer than I want them to be sometimes. But I had a shirt that I tried to DIY a little bit, didn't turn out too great, and so I threw it in the box of shirts that I'm not wearing. And this is also another shirt that I won't be wearing once I go to France, which is where I'm going. I promise I'll be making a lot of content about France as much as I'm able to. I don't know how that's gonna look. I have no idea what to expect from it, but I'll try. And I have some ideas for my trip. I went completely off track. So I had a shirt that my mom found and she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so you." And it said, "I'm not angry, this is just my face." Which I thought, like, you know what? It's kind of, I guess, it's cringy, it's stupid and cringy, but people do complain about my face sometimes looking angry. I do have an sort of RBF. I found that shirt and I decided that the letters on it would look pretty cool. This, for reference, this is what they look like. It's a gray shirt with a darker gray letters. And I thought it would be a good idea to cut those letters up, to cut the words up, separate the letters and make something cool out of it. And I sat there thinking, scratching my brain for quite a while, and I went through a lot of words that I could do. I wanted to do Ministry, like the band Ministry, but I looked into the band a little bit more. I only like 2 of their songs that I actually listened to. Obviously, Every Day is Halloween and Jesus Built My Hot Rod, and I looked a little bit into them, and it just wasn't something I'd want to put on my jeans, mainly because, I guess, Christian, in a Christian family, and stuff like that. I don't want to be doing that kind of stuff. I do miss it sometimes, and sometimes I might put something on my clothes or in my room that isn't exactly aligning with, you know, my religious beliefs. It's just that sometimes if I find something a little too out of my lane, I'll try to avoid it. So I wanted to do ministry. I decided not to. Thought about doing Rammstein, but I don't actually listen to. Well, no, I do. I listen to quite a bit of his songs, like Sauna. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. And other songs, I just can't remember any of them for some reason. And Rammstein could have fit perfectly. I had all the letters, but I was like, you know what? I don't know about that. He's not my favorite. And also, that's not the vibe I'm really going for with these jeans. I want them to be a lot more goth. Kind of. Rammstein, whatever you want to call yourself, German dude. It just didn't fit the vibe of it. So then I thought about doing The Cure, and I realized I don't have enough letters for that. So I sat there thinking, like, what else could I possibly put on my jeans out of these letters that I have? And I thought of the one thing that I've been so addicted to for the past couple of weeks. I actually don't remember how long I've been playing this. About a month. It's a really good game. Probably less than a month, actually. I have no idea. But Grim Soul. Now, if you're a smart cookie, which you're not, I mean, how could you have possibly realized that there's no letter L in I'm not angry, this is just my face? Because by now you've probably forgotten everything. But there was no letter L, so I had to improvise a little bit, and I took some paint, regular paint, not fabric paint. Because, I mean, this just feels kind of like paint. The texture doesn't really matter, how it looks doesn't really matter. I mean, these are jeans, they can be crusty. Called crust pants, actually. They're pants with a bunch of stuff on them. They're crusty. And usually these kinds of pants are not washed that often or at all, which I know you might think is yucky, but I don't know, doesn't matter. It's not like I'm rolling around in the mud wearing these pants and getting viruses. But yes, I made my own L, and now I have Grim Soul, and I already started doing this on these jeans. I want to write Grim on this side and then Soul on the other side, so that'll look pretty cool, I think. And while I'm gonna be doing that, I lost my sewing glove, which is it's a very useful tool for hand sewing. I just made a glove, or for painting. I use it for painting too when I want to quickly dry off my brush or just like get some paint off of it quickly. So it has paint on it, it's very dirty, but I use it so that I don't get as much string burns, like rope burn, but with a string, I guess, because my fingers are already hurting. Like, this is bad. I think I peeled some skin, actually, and it takes a while. It takes a lot of work to do this, but basically what I do is I get a string with a needle and I go at it. Usually when I'm sewing on patches, the best thing to do is lay it on flat, and I have a clipboard inside the jeans. Jeans are surprisingly spacious, and like, my clothes are very small, especially these jeans. They don't fit me as well as they did before, but you can just easily fit anything, like a book, a big book, or something in it, so that you have a flat surface to work on and that you don't accidentally sew your pants shut. That would be a big mistake, and it happens. If you are a sewing veteran, that might have happened to you before. But what I do is I lay down my patch on a flat surface on my jeans. Sometimes I'll sew down the corners. I don't always do that because I'm a little lazy, because it takes a lot of like cutting and sewing back in and cutting again and tying. It's just too much work, so sometimes I just go at it. And I'm going to start right away on doing these patches. I could have started ages ago, I just was too busy talking. I could have talked while I sew, but for some reason I decided not to. Also, if you can hear this, the microphone might be picking it up better than my ears can, because I'm a little deaf, but that sounds nice. I'll try to make it closer to the microphone. Let's see if you can actually hear it. This is not very comfortable, but I'll try to keep it this way, so maybe this can be like a sort of ASMR video. If it's not, if the microphone isn't really picking this all up, I will just have spent several hours sewing, and yes, this takes a very long time, sewing in a very uncomfortable position, when I could have just not done that. So since I'm doing a word out of, and your letters don't have to be, unless you want them to be this way, but your letters don't have to be even. First of all, these are definitely not going to be even, or they don't have to be the same font, size, whatever, as long as it's readable enough. Just lay them out first, make sure you've got everything right, and then sew carefully. But yes, I was lucky that I had a whole shirt with a font that would look good on my jeans. I actually won't know if it looks good when I wear it until I actually finish sewing them. Also, another thing, when I'm sewing these letters like this, how I did it is that I did this outer sew line first, and then when I'm attaching this letter, the next letter, instead of finishing this, sewing on this letter and then sewing on the next one, I will sew them together over here, so that I need just one line of stitching over here, so that I don't have to do extra work. Unless you want to have some space between your letters, you should probably do this. So I'll just scoot back. I'll find a more comfortable way to do this, and I'll keep talking about things like patches. You might be wondering how there's a ton of patch tutorials on Pinterest and YouTube, how to make your own patches at home. There's a lot of misconceptions. I don't know how common this is, but I keep seeing on Pinterest. I feel like it's mainly the Pinterest people, because Pinterest isn't really about the subcultures themselves, it's about aesthetics mainly. So there's not a lot of genuine punks and goths and various alternative people who are not just dressing for the fun of it, but also have the beliefs, listen to the music, political stances. So there's quite a bit of people on Pinterest sometimes that are like, I wish I could dress like this, but it is so expensive. And I'm not sure if they're talking about like buying demonias or shopping at like big alternative brands like Dolls Kill, Killstar. I've never shopped there either. But I do have demonias, neither of which I actually bought from the website itself. I mean, obviously they were bought from the website at some point, but one pair I was gifted. A friend got it for me. Thank you very much. And they're very cool boots. They're these like shiny, glossy, not latex, but what are they called? I don't know, like, they're not leather. don't know. But they're cool platforms, and they are quite pricey. I'm surprised my friend actually did that for me. Really appreciate it. And I worn them to bits. They are pretty beat up. I mean, those are the kind of shoes that are... I realize how much off track I'm getting. Like, I'm so far... I've lost the plot. I'm so far from the original topic that doesn't matter. But realistically, you're probably not watching this to like be like, oh yeah, you know what, I agree with that. I'm making this video just for people who are also doing crafts to listen to. But as I was saying, the other pair of Demonias, which are these super cute sandals in mint condition, I found at Goodwill. Sometimes your local Goodwill might have some gems. I always shop at Goodwill. I never go anywhere else unless my mom takes me, because she doesn't care as much about fast fashion stores and alternative clothing at all. But I have found some really cool things at Goodwill. I stan thrift shops. Absolutely love them, especially small businesses. But people will say that shopping, buying alternative clothes is so expensive. I can never find anything alternative. You are not going to find just a whole rack of shoes from Demonia at your local Goodwill, especially if you live in the slums in the middle of nowhere. You're not gonna find Demonias or just any like super cool alternative shoes. That is such a rare thing to find. But, and especially if you're dressing punk, that is not what punk is about. SLC Punk, the movie that I talked about in my previous video, really tackles this topic about dressing punk, and if you're trying to look as punk as possible, doesn't that make you a poser? They phrase it differently and a lot better than what I'm saying. I'm kind of paraphrasing it, but dressing punk is cheap, and dressing cheap is punk, with the exception of obviously clothes made by slaves or underpaid workers. That is not punk. But punk is just, it's not just about how it looks, not about looking edgy, not about the lace or straps or rivets or spikes. It's about the process and the means of getting this alternative clothing that you have. For example, these jeans I bought a very very long time ago, actually. I was like 14 maybe, I don't remember, but I was in New York with my brother. He was taking me there for my birthday, sort of, and we went to H&M and we got some clothes. Now I don't shop at H&M anymore because they are also fast fashion. It seems that every store that I go to is fast fashion. Even the thrift stores are filled with fast fashion items. But that's a different story. That's a different topic. But I bought these jeans at H&M. They're nice jeans. They're pretty good. I think I rate jeans, like how good they are, based on how well they fray. And if you look at these jeans, look at that fraying. This is after one wash, after being cut like this. I'm not sure, but it's like, it's very soft. Like this is pretty tough and pretty compact. It doesn't stretch. And this part is very soft and kind of bulky, so you know, it's like tight weaved. And especially here, here it is. I kind of messed up when I did this, but I wanted to, here I put Child's Play, and I did kind of a Child's Play reference with this tear. I just cut the jeans and then I sewed them back together, kind of a slipshod way, and they messed up. Like, this hole is not supposed to be this big. A lot of the stitching just fell out of its place, and now it's very frayed. But yeah, you can see, I actually, this is funny, but I added some glue so that it wouldn't fray as much. I don't know if that'll work, but we'll see. It's a little yucky it feels a little yucky, but I think the glue might actually help. I'm still not going to wash them after this. But yes, I think the better the jeans are fraying after a wash, especially, the better they are. But I bought them at H&M, back to the topic, and it's because I wanted to get light jeans. My thought process at the moment was like, I need to get some light jeans. I have dark jeans, I have regular blue jeans, I have black jeans. I don't have light jeans. I don't even wear jeans anymore. I don't like jeans. They bore me. They're just not as interesting. I like dress pants or flowy, soft pants. Not jeans though. They're not my favorite, unless on some occasion with some outfit they might look good. Not always though. Right now I'm sewing in kind of a zigzag zigzag pattern. I started over here, and then I sewed up here, and then I'm going here, and then I'll attach the next letter, and I'll go down again, then on the side again, up again, side again, and then I'll just repeat the process backwards, except I'm not gonna do the middle spaces because I already did that. So back to the thing that we were talking about earlier. Back to talking about, what's it called? Oh, dressing cheap. Right. I live in a fairly wealthy family. I would say I think we're very wealthy. I think we've been really blessed because we get to have a lot of things that we didn't have before. And even though we're not in like the best situation, we're not exactly like, our bank's not overflowing with money. We still have enough to not worry about food or clothes. And I realized that it might sound a little bit like, of course you're not complaining about buying clothes because you can afford clothes. First of all, there's so many videos proving that you don't need tons of money to buy alternative clothes. Some of them condone stealing, which is not something I condone, even from like big companies that are not super punk. I still don't condone stealing because we don't decide what is moral. But there's still a lot of ways that you can dress punk without having lots of money. So I'm just gonna name a few ways that I just realized I'm not sewing the way I said I would. That's fine. It's okay. It's all right. But yeah, there's ways of dressing punk without needing tons of money or materials. The number one easiest way to make your clothes more punk is cutting them, which is what I was doing when I was just starting out, basically, which was not that long ago, actually. I remember it like yesterday. When did I actually start being alternative? That's a great question. I believe I was alternative my entire life, but I discovered it fairly recently when I entered high school. Right about at the time that I went into high school, my first year, 9th grade, and I'm about to go into 12th grade. Some of you watching this might be as well, and it's a scary time. But when I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. When I was just starting out with alternative clothes, all I did was cut up my clothes and sometimes occasionally sew stuff on them. One of my oldest, coolest pieces too is my patchwork hoodie. Not patchwork, it's got a bunch of patches on it. I'm sure if you're an OG, if you're a true gangsta, that was ridiculous. If you're a true patron of this channel, you've seen my patch hoodie that I worked on quite a bit before. It was hanging on my bed until I got a new bed. I don't really know where it is right now. But it would look so cool with these jeans because it matches with the colors. They're both blue and they both have a bunch of patches on them. Like, how cool is that? But yes, holes, patches, and patches are super easy to make. If you're an if you are an artist, if you are an artistic person, or autistic, I don't know, and you like to paint and you have fabric, go ahead, go at it. It doesn't even have to be sorry, I'm like tripping on my words right now. It doesn't even have to be fabric paint. Before I actually got an actual bottle of fabric paint, I used regular paint for all my stuff. And it works just fine. It's just a little bit crusty. But you can fix it by adding fabric softener. Now, I'm not sure I have that. I've never tried using it, but I heard it works. And I'm sure you can use fabric softener after you paint something. So if you have a chance to get some, you can. Also, coin laundries. I wonder if coin laundries have fabric softener there. Maybe. Do they still exist? But yes, holes, patches, and I feel like patches are the most free-form kind of bit of art that you can make for your clothes because you can do so much stuff with it. You literally have your paint and a bit of fabric and you can just put anything on there. Any cool graphic tees that you see online or in stores that you want to get but are way too expensive, just make them yourself. And it doesn't have to be high quality stuff as long as it looks cool. Who cares? Of course, if obviously there's some fabrics that are less comfortable, you might want to, if you have sensory issues, you might want to opt for some more feel-good fabrics, I guess. But if you don't care about how the fabric feels, just get the cheapest fabric you can get. Also, not every fabric is good for making patches. If it frays easily, it's not a good fabric for patches. Oh, so what I use is like old black tees. Most common piece of clothing that can be repurposed. If it's a shirt that is totally unwearable, which is kind of a high standard for punk clothing because nothing is ever truly unwearable in punk. What's something else apart from patches and holes that you could do with your clothes? For some reason, I can't really think of anything right now. Another piece of advice I'm going to give, and this is all just like basic advice, but if you are new to the scene, If you're like a baby bat or a new punk or a new emo, there's a name for baby bats, but I don't know if there's a name for punks who are just starting out, or emos who are just starting out, or any other alternative genre that is just starting out. But this is just some advice I've learned in the past couple of years, 3 years. Dang, yeah, it's been 3 years since I officially became a goth. So another bit of advice is that you will not get your dream closet right away. I've been working so hard to get to this point where I look in my closet and I see actual cool alternative pieces that I can wear. Black lacy skirts, velvet skirts, cool formal jackets, because I love those, blazers with quirky buttons, graphic tees that you like. That's not gonna come to you in a big box right to your doorstep in a day, unless you're ordering from Temu or Shein, and we don't do that around these parts. Right now, if you took all of the clothes in my closet and all the clothes that I've had previously, that is going to be a ton of money. Lots and lots of money. If you combined all of the money that I may or may not have paid for all of my clothes, it's quite a bit. Which is why you don't get all your clothes in one day. And I know you're impatient. I was also impatient, but I decided that, you know what? The clothes don't determine who I am. My beliefs do. And as long as I believe in the right things, I am alternative. And I do belong in the goth scene. So it's fine if I don't appear the way I want to sometimes to people. Doesn't really matter. I don't like attention anyway. But I do like dressing a certain way. It doesn't have to be always. Back in my very old videos, you'll see me wearing some odd things. And I'm lucky to be like, never have I ever in my life looked back at myself in the past and been like, oh, what was I thinking about my choice of clothing? Or the way I acted, unless I acted bad, like if I was a mean person. Every time I look back at myself, I don't cringe out. I always think, this is what is leading up to me right now. This is a bit of motivation to you. If you think that in the past you were oh so cringe, and you might be cringe now and you don't even realize it, and that in a few years or even a few weeks, you'll be looking back at yourself and thinking, oh my goodness, I was such a cringe edgelord back then. That was a very important part of your journey, as it happened to me. I had to go through so many things to be the person that I am right now. So don't feel bad when you look back at your old photos and see yourself doing something weird or a bit too quirky or cringy, because that was all important to your growth. Because if you look back at yourself and would think, wow, I'm exactly the same way, that means you haven't changed. That might not always be a bad thing. Don't think that either. Back to the topic of buying punk is cheap. I actually don't know what to add. Another thing I just thought of, if you're like, I can't afford paint because paint is so expensive. I see you, I hear you. I can't afford paint. You can use bleach also. Bleach is obviously very different from paint. You can only really get one color But bleach stuff also looks pretty cool, and you can probably do it more than once to get a lighter shade for anything that you're drawing. It takes a bit of practice. You're not gonna get it right away, so practice a little bit first on scraps of fabric or with just paper and water. Do that first, or just paper and fabric, because bleach is pretty risky to use. Also kind of dangerous. Be careful so that it doesn't get in your eyes or your mouth. And another thing that I thought of just now, and this was just like I was just thinking, I'm like, where could you possibly get materials pretty much for free? And I thought of this. I don't actually know if this would work. I've never tried it, but you could go volunteer at like a kids center where they have different activities for kids of different ages. Sometimes we went to one and it wasn't anything like a big building or anything, but non-profit organizations that help children, they will usually have some like art materials, and I think you could do like, you could bring a bit of fabric paint with you, or not fabric paint, you could bring some fabric with you, like a little square in your pocket. And if you're doing like arts and crafts with the kids, you could do something that you could bring home, and using your actual clothes, like you get some paint. Usually it's washable paint at those kinds of places, but you can also get like acrylic stuff as well, or markers, Sharpies, things like that. Also at school, if you go to school and you go to art class and you have a bit of time in your art class, I'm sure there's like, if you ever use paint or something like that, you can in your free time work on a patch or some kind of accessory or something like that. You can always do that. I'm trying to think of other things that you could use to paint with that are free and easy to access. Obviously school, but if you're homeschooled, for example, like I was, or you can't afford to go to school, or if you're not at school, if you're graduated already and you have a job, come on, you have a job, you can pay for these things. But I understand that this economy, rent, food, all of that stuff is so expensive. You can go volunteer at places like kids centers that have art supplies, and obviously that takes some time and dedication. If you did something like that, I don't know if you would have to be there like if you have to do that like every day, or like if it's like a job, or you can just come in and be like, hey, I'm here to volunteer for like one time. I really don't know how it works, but if you're interested in that, you can look into it and see what you can do. And also volunteering is just a good thing to do. It's pretty punk, I'd say, especially helping kids and working at non-profit organizations. Those are so important to the lives of people all around the world. Now, if you're like, well, okay, fine, that's all right, I can get paint supplies anywhere. What about accessories like metal stuff, for example, spikes, rivets, clips, whatever other stuff like that? You can find so many things on the side of the road. You guys will not believe the things that I find while I'm just like walking my dog. One time I found a whole sink. You could tear away some stuff from the sink and voila, you got some like materials. And if you go to like I don't know, any freaking scrapyard or whatever, different nuts and bolts, you don't have to have like safety pins specifically from the store. You can just pick up stuff on the side of the road. Obviously, be careful when you do that kind of stuff. Be prepared if you're going out to look for that kind of stuff. Bring like gloves with you if you can, and or like a plastic bag from Walmart or a trash bag, so that you don't have to carry it around in your pockets or in your hands, because you never know. Especially things like nails, I would not recommend that kind of stuff. Be very careful, especially if it's rusty. Yeah, if something's rusty, I usually won't pick it up, but if I see like a shiny brand new metal. Recently I was on a walk because it was raining, the weather was so nice. I was with my umbrella and I found a whole freaking lock, a master lock on the sidewalk. It was like brand new. Looks like someone just threw it away like a couple of hours ago. It was just lying there in the grass, and I have not figured out the combination for it yet. I watched a video and I tried to do it, but it's kind of hard and I kind of gave up, but I'm sure I'll get it soon. And I think that's a cool accessory. You could put that like on a, you could use it as a keychain or some kind of charm on something. Put it on your bag, your waistband, your belt, something like that. Locks are pretty cool for that kind of stuff. If you're living with your parents, you have a garage that your mom or dad likes to tinker with stuff in there. I know my dad does. There's going to be definitely some loose screws and whatever in there that are like, oh, I'm definitely gonna use them later, but no, you're not. You can collect those. Those are usually like safe to put on your clothes. Soda can tabs, obviously one of the most commonly collected things, I'd say. I think if you're alternative, if you're like any kind of alternative kid, I feel like it's mostly teens that do this, but collecting soda can tabs, I have a whole pile over there, which is supposed to be in a box, but that box is kind of far away and I don't want to get it. So you can use nuts and bolts, soda can tabs. I've seen somebody actually on Pinterest, because that's where I get most of my ideas from. Sometimes my head too, and my dreams. I saw somebody cut out part of an aluminum soda can, I think it was like Mountain Dew or something, and sew it on. Obviously that is very dangerous. You have to be very careful when you do that. Use gloves 100%, because aluminum is so sharp. So you can try doing that too. I think they attached it to their bag, and you would have to have like a special needle and like wire or special string to stitch it on. I really don't know how they did it. Maybe they glued it on. I remember them like making holes in it. Also about like spikes. Spikes don't always have to be metal. Like I see a lot of people doing like hoodie alterations, which I also did. I like doing that a lot because hoodies are pretty boring, so I did that with my patch hoodie. Maybe I'll do, I don't know if I did this before, I might have in like an old video, but I did a little tour of my patch hoodie. I might do it again. Think about it when I'm done with my jeans, to like make an outfit together with that. And then I had a plain black hoodie that I used bleach to paint on it, but then I kind of fell out of love with the design, so I covered it up with some black and white paint. And if you're doing something, if you're making like a small patch, it's okay to use like basic acrylic paint, it's fine. But if you're making a bigger picture, then I do recommend using fabric paint, because it's just more flexible and it's going to feel so much better than acrylic paint, I am telling you. Like for example, if you've seen my patch hoodie, the front pocket, I painted gorillas on it, like the band, not the animals. That was acrylic paint, no fabric softener used, and it feels awful, but it looks cool, so guess it was worth it. Of course, on that hoodie I added some spikes, and also on my zip-up jacket that I also show in another video. I've worn that zip-up jacket quite a bit. I don't wear my patch hoodie a lot. I've only worn it like twice, because It's not the most comfortable piece of clothing to wear, but it looks cool, so when I go to France I will definitely wear it. So the spikes, if you're curious about how to do those, I could make a tutorial, or I think I show how to do it in another video, but I could just show it more thoroughly and explain the process step by step just a little better so that you can do it at home by yourself. Another big question I think would be like, where would you get scrap fabric for free or for cheap? You could ask your friends for clothes that they don't wear. Trading clothes is just a very big thing that is like so helpful to reduce clothing waste, because even if you don't like how a shirt or pants or any item of clothing looks, you can always just change it, or you can use the shirt for scrap fabric, or just any bit of clothing that you're using for scrap fabric, especially if it's like old and not very good for use anymore. You can use it for patches, which is what I did with the Sisters of Mercy patch over here. It used to be this weird dress, I think, and the fabric was really bad. So I cut it up, and that is a lot of fabric to make patches out of, and it's so cool. I love doing that. I love just having like the most classic kind of patch you can have. It's just a black square of fabric and you paint something on it and then you sew it on, and it looks so cool. Also, you might not know how to sew or have sewing materials, which I'm not sure how to get that for free or for cheap, but I know that thrift stores that aren't just clothes, like Goodwill. I mean, there's other things apart from clothes at Goodwill, like different trinkets and stuff, but you can find, or like in the bins section. I recently, not like super recently, but a while back, I went to look in the bins of Goodwill, and of course you have to be very careful when you're looking through them. There's a bunch of videos that are showing how crazy the bins sometimes are. I saw there was a whole knife in the bin, so be very, very careful. But I'm sure that's very rare. That must have been a mistake, a really bad mistake. But yeah, the bins have a lot of cool stuff. By the way, you can see over here this little thing. I got it at the bins. It is so cute and whimsical. Look at it. It's this little, I think it's a candle holder or some kind of weird ashtray, maybe, but I think it looks so cute. Look at the spiral inside it. Oh, that's so adorable. And they even signed it. Whoever made this signed it too, and I think it looks very well done. Handcrafted, I can tell. I mean, most ceramic clay things are, right? I don't know, I'm stupid, but it's so adorable. I love looking in the bins. It's cheap stuff, fairly cheap. You can get clothes there, you can get scraps there, you can get a bunch of stuff there. I'm sure if you look good enough, you could even find some pre-made patches. That would be cool, right? So this is what I have for now. Grim. The eye looks a little bit weird, but that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. These are crust pants, so who cares? There we go. So now that we have that done, I will do the second part, the Grim Soul. Hold on, I got this. I can hold up the whole word. Soul, Grim Soul. Guys, such a good game. I'm telling you, such a good game. It's awesome. I love it. You should definitely go and play it. But yes, that is what I have for now on the back. I don't know how this is going to look when I put them on. Also, another tip, if you're doing letters, words on a patch, especially if you're dyslexic. I'm not dyslexic, but this has happened to me, and it was very embarrassing. Be very careful when you're sewing on patches that are supposed to be in a certain pattern, like words, like letters especially. Imagine if I messed up the letters on this and I wrote like Germ instead of Grim. I would have to redo the whole thing. So double, triple, quadruple check when you're doing things like that. And also one time when I was working on my patch hoodie, I was making a System of a Down patch, and instead of system I wrote system, and I didn't notice until somebody else pointed that out for me. Luckily I was able to fix it, no problem. So I'm gonna show you them, who's them, the voices. I'm gonna show you how it looks from the front as well. I'll maybe go over some things that I have on here. This purple spiral thing I added recently, I don't know what it is, but it looks cool. And then I drew some teeth over here. They don't really look like teeth, they're supposed to be like sharp canines over here. On the side it says freak magnet, there's a little flower. Those are some new things that I added, as well as this little spider next to the spider web. I was thinking of putting it on the spider web, but I just thought that would, I don't know, I didn't want to mess up the spider web because it looks really cool. Here they are though. This is what they look like from the front. This is not enough. I for sure need more things on them, but yeah, I really like them. And this is the back for now. That's what it looks like. I'm gonna have Soul over on this side. It's gonna be pretty sick. Okay, it is day 2 of working on my Grim Soul patch. Before this, I finished making the Grim side. It looks a little more crooked now that I'm looking at it with a fresh gaze, but it's fine. It really does not matter. And then on the second side, I'll be sewing on the soul part. My fingers have hopefully rested well enough, and my hands won't be hurting. Little updates, because I have worked a little bit more on the jeans. I added this little thing. So I used my hair comb. You can also, little detail here, you can also use objects to make these pressed pictures, like I used with one of my patches that I have over here. I was inspired, and so I decided to do that. But I used a hair comb, I put some black paint on it, and I just went at it on the jeans, and it made these little lines. It looks pretty cool. And I did that in this area, but it was kind of coming off. It didn't look too good, so I decided to put something here, and I decided to write Alas Poor Yorick, because I read, well, I didn't read, I listened to the I hate audiobooks. I cannot focus while I'm listening to audiobooks. I don't know, they're just so, it's hard to find good ones, I feel like. I prefer just reading off of the page. It's just better. But I did listen to the Hamlet audio reading and watched the 1991 movie with Helena Bonham Carter and other actors. Mel Gibson, I think, but that doesn't matter. I just wanted to put on this quote, Alas Poor Yorick, and I made the lines, I tried to make the lines look like a skull, like this right here is the eye, and then here is the nose, and then these are the teeth. I don't know if it's like, if you saw this and you were like, oh yeah, that's what that is, obviously. That's good, but if not, I guess whatever. I already showed the purple spiral, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what else I added. Oh, well, I did work on the Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and the World's End lettering a bit. I made them pop a little more, and I fixed this kiss mark over here so that you can tell more obviously what that is. And I think that's it, what I did today. And also I made some more patches I have an iPad, and I put bits of fabric like this. This is pretty thin fabric, so I could see it pretty clearly without having to be in the dark. My room's pretty dark either way. I just put them on my iPad. I had like a black and white image, and I would take this thing over here. This is some white paint. It has this thin tip, which is awesome because it's super easy to make thin designs. I've seen in videos people having more, even thinner paint tube tips to make really thin lines, which is pretty handy. So I made this Nosferatu patch. the lettering barely fit. I really had to cram it in. I just thought it looked super empty without it. Also, his face details were kind of hard to make with this kind of thing. But I mean, you could tell who it is even without the text. I just added it just because it looked a little empty. And then here's the thing that I made with a little stamp. I used an edge of this like weird, I don't know what it is. It's like a little, it might be a communion cup actually. I don't know. I searched it up, but I think I found the exact model, but I used the rim of this cup over here to make these spines of the fish, and then I just painted the tail. And I have this little weird squishy stress toy that I painted the fish face on, and it kind of like smudged a little, so it doesn't look great, but it's fine, doesn't matter either. And then I think my favorite one so far is the first one that I made is this sometimes gets stuck together, especially if it's okay, fair warning, if you're using this like kind of paint and you throw it in the washing machine, recommend either hand washing or washing it in cold water, because if it heats up, especially if it's like pretty fresh paint, like right now I don't even think it's fully dry because it's really like sticky, and if I fold it together like this, it'll like stick together, but it's pretty much dry, so it's fine. And I did the same thing with this, and this is very transparent fabric, not like super like when I put it on the jeans, it's not like I'm not gonna be able to see the jeans through it, but it allowed me to make this print easier. It was a little bit chaotic having to like keep it in place and then the screen constantly moving. That was a bit annoying. There's also another patch I made that is going to go on the other side of these jeans, this pocket. I'll bring it over right now. This hold on. This Sisters of Mercy patch. This one I feel like is the most crooked out of them all. I mean, it's not as bad as the Nosferatu one, but it's okay. Also, since the fabric's so thin, it did seep through a little bit, but it's fine. The screen is okay. It's just paint. So, but yeah, right now I'll be working on the rest of the Grim Soul patch and talking a little bit more about alternative fashion and things. So I just thought of this today. I thought about other ways you can get fabric for cheap, and I remembered a video that I watched recently of from Angela Benedict, a favorite of mine. I love her videos and I think she's gorgeous. She looks a lot like Morticia Adams. Morticia. But yes, she is beautiful. I love Angela Benedict. Her videos are great. She is an OG goth, and she shares some pretty interesting stories from her life. And she did a little rant about how recently she made a video talking about DIY and how easy it is to make DIY clothes. Well, not like easy, but it's cheap and it's not hard to get clothes for cheap. She did a little rant about how surprisingly the most requested video that her fans wanted was the least washed one, unfortunately, because the videos I'm guessing that she gets the most views on are like the super more like not controversial but more hot topic videos, I guess, like videos about how people nowadays, there's a lot of people ruining the goth space by pretending to be goth while not actually being goth, or giving a bad name to the goth community. Those videos get a lot of views, but her DIY video not as much, which I understand because her fans are the ones who want the DIY videos, including me. I really like that video. She made a very cute dress in it, but her other videos, her more controversial ones, are the ones that are being watched by other people, just a wider range of people, a bigger audience, because there are so many creeps in her comments. It's just every time she posts something, creeps everywhere. It's really disgusting. But the reason that I even brought up this thing that happened, in her DIY video, she makes a dress out of a bed sheet. And I'm not sure how much those cost, but obviously in a thrift store, used bed sheets, people mostly want to get new bed sheets, right? Something that doesn't have people's sweat on it, right? So I feel like those kinds of things, like, and those are usually huge pieces of fabric, right? And they don't even have to be like good quality fabric. If you're making patches out of them, it really does not matter. You can get pretty much any color you want, or if anything, you could dye it the color that you wanted, but you go to a thrift store, you buy a bed sheet, and you cut it up into a bunch of small pieces, and voila, you got so much material for tons and tons of patches that you can do, which is pretty cool. I have not done that yet, but I think that's a good idea. One day I'll do that. I'm going to France for a whole year, so I'm not sure how anything's gonna go there. Like, I'm going there and they're so blind. All I know is that I'm going to be going to a school. That's great. French school, American school in France, I mean. And I have no idea how making videos is gonna be, if I'm even gonna have the time for making videos. Is the family that I'm gonna be living with gonna be allowing me to do that? Are they okay with me spending time filming? But in the family description that I got, because they give you, and when you're doing a exchange student program and you live with a family, they give you a little, well, at least I got this, a little bit about the family, things they like to do, and one of them was hiking. If they like hiking, I think that would be a great opportunity for me to find cool things to make videos about, and maybe rant while I hike. Also, I just realized I haven't done a vocab word of the day in quite some time. I don't even think I have my vocab app anymore, but I really should bring that back. And when I go to France, I'll probably start doing like French vocab words. You know what? That would be really cool, actually, so you can learn French with me. Yeah, I really should do the thing where you lay it out flat and then like pin or sew on the corners before you actually start sewing, because when I'm sewing, this is what happens. Like, this is going, it's going up when it's supposed to be going like straight. So that's a bit of a problem, but not too bad. I can easily fix that. I just don't want the lettering to run into the pocket so that it's gonna be in the way. But that's not that big of an issue. I can easily fix that. I feel like my eyesight's gotten worse, like much worse. I feel like I'm going blind, and I think it's the screens. I really need to get screens out of my life. Hopefully I can do that when I'm in France, because I'm not gonna have the ability to be on my phone as much probably. I'll be doing other fun things like living in France, if you can call that fun. Sounds more scary than anything. We'll do a word of the day I just thought of. It's going to be in French, and it is, and I'm sorry for my pronunciation, I have not been working on that. Effrayant.
Effrayante. Effrayant.
Which means scary. Le France est très effrayant. If you're French and you're watching this, I'm so sorry. This is not going in the needle. I need you to work with me. Come on. Okay, there we go. Please. No. I hate sewing. I actually really like it. I'll give you a sewing tip once I actually get this thread through the needle. I think I did it. Yes! Okay, so the way my mom taught me to tie a thread end, so once I get the thread through my needle over here, I make both ends the same length, and I'm going to do a demonstration. I grip this with my 2 fingers, and then I take the long end and I wrap it around, and I hold that between my index and my thumb, and then I roll it like this, and then I pull on it, and that makes a knot. Now, it's not the prettiest knot. It's kind of ugly, but that's okay. Happens to the best of us. And just to prove that DIY can be super easy and cheap, I'm going to do something like this, like keep track of all the materials that I used. And I know, okay, I have a sewing machine. I got it for, I think, my birthday. I don't remember already, or maybe it was Christmas or something like that, but I have a sewing machine, and I know a sewing machine is obviously not cheap, but this, obviously I have not used it for like huge things, but this has lasted my family, I don't know how many years, like 7 maybe? I mean, ever since we moved to America, I remember having this spool of thread, and we used it for so many things. It used to be much thicker, but now that I'm using it quite a bit, it's running out a little. But I remember I used it for things like stitching clothes for my Barbies. Some of the most recent stuff that I did for my dolls, I used that, and it's still coming in handy, and there's still quite a bit left. If you get just one of these, that can last you a lifetime. You can get yourself some needles and learn how to sew, and it does not have to be perfect, but it's fairly cheap to do. Patches is like such an easy thing to do, or painting your clothes or bleaching your clothes. Bleach is a pretty common household item, so if you have some at home, that's already like, you got yourself your materials. And fabric, as I said, of course, you can get a bed sheet for a few bucks, so that's pretty cheap as well. And the fact that it's handmade by you or a friend maybe, that's great. That you're not buying from some big corporate monster. I'm not gonna offend monsters that way. Okay, so I think I'm going to end this here because I have nothing else to talk about, and I'm almost done sewing on the S, and then I have the O, the U, and the L, and once I'm done with that, I'll show you the finished product, and I think that's gonna be the end of the video. Did you like my AI data center impression? I think that was pretty good. Not enough water drank though, should have been more. Anyway, while I was watching a video on YouTube, as one does, I finished making this side, and it looks a lot worse than the other. But that's okay, at least I didn't mess up the letters, because I don't remember if I mentioned this before, I think I did, but when you're sewing on stuff like letters, be careful which way they're facing, because at certain points of this process, I was scared, like, wait, what if I accidentally put the letters on the wrong way? But somehow my brain just automatically made everything correctly. It is pretty late at night. Not like super late, it's actually not late at all, but it's dark outside, which is late enough. However, I'm not gonna be finishing this yet. I still want to sew on some more patches. I think I'll do this one on the other pocket, the, what's his name, Andrew Eldridge face. So I'm gonna put them on and show you how this looks on. It looks kind of ridiculous, but we'll see. The waist of these jeans makes me feel like somebody from the early 2000s, like an emo from the 2000s. But this is the front. Oh, you can't even see the patches. Dang. That's the back. You're not even gonna be able to read what's on there, especially like during the day with bright light. Actually, I'm not sure if it looks better during like what lighting it looks better in, because I feel like when I put it closer to my window, when I was looking at the patches, near the window they looked harder to read, but when I put them like over here in the corner, it was easier to see the letters. I don't know how that's gonna work. And my camera keeps getting blurry. I really don't know what's wrong with it. Yeah, I really like how these jeans look. So far they keep getting better. I just want to fill more of that empty space, and once I do that, that'll be cool. If you have any ideas what to put on here, I saw somebody do this long strip of fabric and paint like a chain on it and then put it on the side seam of their jeans, which I thought looked pretty cool, so I might do that as well. And if you have any ideas of like pictures, text, other things that I could put on these jeans, feel free to share that with me. And once I put these patches on, I will show you guys what they're going to look like on the jeans. And I'm trying to work on these jeans as much as I can before I go to France, because I want to wear them all the time there, because they are so cool. I really like them. They just need more stuff on them, right? And I'll be adding other things like soda can tabs. The camera's blurry again. It's because I keep moving, I think. But yeah, soda can tabs. I don't know how yet. Maybe something like a little row over here, or I was thinking on the sides too, like instead of doing a patch that isn't like painted with a chain pattern, I could make a chain out of these and like put them on the side, and maybe that would be cool. I keep clearing my throat. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's because I've been talking so much. Jeez. But yes, tell me your ideas in the comments. Tell me what I should put on here. Also, if you have like game recommendations, movie, book, show, song, whatever recommendations, tell me. And if I like the stuff that you tell me, I'll make patches with stuff that's related to that, and I'll put them on my jeans. If I don't like it, I'm not gonna do it. But yes, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you made some progress on whatever craft you're doing. If you were doing a craft, if you were not, if you were just sitting there on your phone or your iPad like a loser, like me, that's okay too. I'm not gonna police you on that. But yes, leave comments in the comments where the comments are at. I'm sure you'll find your way around, and you know where the like button is, subscribe, obviously. Like, you don't need to hear all that, you already know that stuff. So, I hope you have a wonderful day, night, whatever time it is. I will see you very soon. Every Americans, over and out.